What's up, boys? Happy Friday. Kind of got a small slate when it comes to basketball and hockey, but we have a huge MLB slate today, which is awesome. So, audio is good, awesome. Glad you guys are here at 9 a.m. to join me. Trying to get in some plays. As always, we're going to be using Upside Tools. If you guys do want to check this out at the end of the stream, you guys can go use code TRIDENT, TRIDENT, and get yourself 5 days free with the optimizer or the whale watch tool, which we will go over as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop into it just because we've got some props on the board. So we're going to start off with prize picks here. And as you guys know, I have to do this on my phone, and then I will pull the slip up on the screen for you guys to tail. Okay, I believe we have 15 MLB games today, so we should have a ton of value on the board to take advantage of. And during the hour, if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. All right. What else is going to say? For those of you guys who tailed the slip that I posted to Twitter, which, by the way, I do post picks over on Twitter. If you guys want to drop a follow, at Trident_DFS. If you guys tailed that the Fever play, +1.5. I went to bed before that game was over, and I woke up to the Fever losing by 2, which was fantastic. But anyways, we're going to be taking this top prop here. Jalen Williams under 8.5 points. You guys can see that this is at 7.5 over on ProfitX, over on DraftKings, over on FanDuel. And if you were to take this under over on Novig, which is an exchange market, you would be paying -154. So really good prop here at top of the board. We're going to try to build out a 3-leg here. That'll be the first prop we take. Leg number 2, let's toss in this Paul Goldschmidt under 0.5 singles. And then I'm going to check the whale watch tool real quick to see if we have anything coming in. So Paul Goldschmidt under 0.5 singles versus the A's. I love that -146 price point over on DraftKings that we're getting. Let's go over to the whale watch tool. You guys are spamming emojis in the chat. It's wild. Let's check out prize picks. Nothing on prize picks right now. Okay. Let's go back. See what else we like here. This Belinda Bencic prop is the last leg in a 6x over on prize picks for us. I don't know if I want to double down on that. That's supposed to start here in a couple of hours. What we could do is take this Junior Caminero prop under 0.5 singles. Dude's probably going to hit a home run and a double today, we'll say. Under 0.5 singles, though, for Junior Caminero on the Tampa Bay Rays. And then we're going to run that as a 3-pick. So that'll be a 6x over on prize picks. I'm going to put those together. Make sure you guys get the link, and then I'll pull it up so that way everyone can see it as well. That'll be the first play of the day. Yeah, that is true. I sent that link out in the chat, by the way, if you guys are watching over on YouTube and Twitch. By the way, I'm live on both of those platforms. I'm live over on the Twitch, or the Upside Tools Twitch channel, and then my personal YouTube. But definitely go check out both channels and also on both platforms, because sometimes I will be live on the Upside YouTube and then my personal Twitch. Okay. But yeah, we did end up nuking the Spurs yesterday. We saw $1.5 million come down on the Spurs. Ended up taking that over on Novig or ProfitX, one of the two, at -143, which was pretty nice. Pretty sure that line moved to like -160 before tip-off. And obviously the Spurs got it done. So we got ourselves a Game 7, which is what we're going to get some plays in for as well today. So would I recommend the Bencic slip if not taken already? Yeah, go for it. -150 obviously is going to be a little bit of a better price point than the -143 that we've gotten here on the Junior Caminero prop. So I'd probably just run those top 3 together. If you've already run the Belinda prop, then you can take the Caminero one with us. Let me pull this up for those of you guys. There we go. Take those right there. Let me zoom out a little bit for those of you guys on TikTok crowd can't see it. Maybe if I hold it like that. There we go. All right, so that's the 3 pick we're running. For those of you guys over on TikTok as well. All right, so Caminero and Goldschmidt both under 0.5 singles. A prop that I hate taking, similar to pitching outs. And then we've got Jalen Williams under 8.5 points. All right. It's first play of the day. Cool. Let's go ahead and check out. We're going to check out Better. We got a 23% profit boost. UFC only. We're going to see if we can find some value for that later, probably. UFC will be tomorrow night. So I may wait on that until tomorrow. We will see, though. And then hopefully we can find some good game lines for baseball today. We can all tail. Hopefully everyone got in Spurs yesterday with us. Was that unders? Yeah, all unders. Under 0.5 singles for Goldschmidt and Caminero, and then under 8.5 points for Jalen Williams. Any golf? Possibly. Let me see. What time do people tee off today? It's round 2, right? Williams bumped. If Williams bumped, take the Belinda prop here. Belinda under 12.5 total games. Yeah, UFC is kind of tough to bet on just because I don't like the significant strikes. Feels like whoever's grading those kind of just does whatever they want. I'll see, post-fight, you'll have somebody get stat corrected by 20 significant strikes. It's insane. All right, we got people underway already, but it looks like people are teeing off all the way until 2 o'clock. Let's see. What else do we have here? I took my first home run 3-leg parlay today. Fingers, eyes, and toes crossed on that. Who you got? Who'd you take to go yard? Let's go over to Better. I'm going to snag these props real quick. That Logan Webb one looks really good right now. Logan Webb under 4.5 strikeouts. Over -140 on pretty much everything. Yeah, this is a really good prop. I'm going to toss this in a 3-leg. Logan Webb. Am I blind? Logan Webb plays for the... Oh, they're not all the games right here. There he is. Under 4.5 strikeouts versus the Rockies. I guess Logan Webb's kind of a ground ball pitcher, but it's a little bit surprising. All right, I don't know if I want to double dip on Jalen Williams just yet. Let's take this Caruso prop, under 1.5 steals. And then finally, we can grab Dylan Harper over points. I'm cool with rolling with this. We really only have single-sided odds here for both DraftKings and FanDuel. ProfitX has us at 10.5, along with a lot of other these sports books. Harper had himself a game last night. Let's take that as leg number 3. I am going to check real quick, though, before we lock that in. I want to see if Better at least has something for us over here. Pretty sure the Whale Watch tool was what showed me Caitlin Clark for under assists yesterday, which cashed. But so that's pretty good. Yeah, we're going to run that as a 3-man. We're going to 6x our money on this. Yay. Thank you for limiting me to $5. It's the steals. The steals category. Wonderful. All right. $5 here. All right, so place a half unit on that. Or however much you can get down. If it's less than a half unit. Go ahead and tail that play. Uh-oh. Get you guys this. Harper needs to start next year. Yeah, he's been a lot more productive than De'Aaron Fox. That's for sure. I will say last night kind of saved my butt. I made a market for De'Aaron Fox under like 24.5 PRA. And it cashed, but I ended up getting like a huge edge on it. Somebody filled it. I got it like plus 120 or something, like a 30-cent difference from where FanDuel had it. And I want to say he had like, he didn't come close to hitting, but the whole first half, he had like 10 PRA all from just rebounds and assists. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is pretty bad. I think I was happy that last night cashed because it kind of made up for the fact that he sold so many of my like pick six slips when I've taken his over points. Like there were several games where I was on his over like 16 and a half points and the dude was just doing nothing. And you see that if you're actually watching the game, you'll see he just like he'll get the rebounds or he'll even come up court with the ball and then immediately pass. And he doesn't look for an opportunity to like drive to the rim or take a shot. So hopefully everyone gets this in. This is over on Better. Let me know if you have questions of why we're taking it. Logan Webb under 4.5 strikeouts. Caruso under 1.5 steals. And Harper over 9.5 points. Can you do Underdog next? Yeah, we'll check out Underdog. He's only good at handing the rock. Takes the pressure off Castle. Yep. Why do you guys take plays for games that aren't today? I have no patience. Literally going by jumping up and down. Dude, the worst, I will tell you the worst, is the week before the Super Bowl. You'll have a ton of value on the board just throughout the entire week, and you're just working in these singular, Super Bowl props. I personally like it and hate it at the same time. Obviously, I'm not super patient, but having a slip come down to the final leg being in the Super Bowl it's rewarding. So that's another thing. But on the flip side, if you have a ton of slips that have already chalked and you still have just one leg that is pending, you got to scroll through Prize Picks or Underdog with it still pending. That's a little bit annoying, I will say. It's Harper's job after the season, especially if they lose to the Thunder. Do you think they'll trade Fox? Like, I feel like Fox, it can still be a valuable asset for potentially another team. I just don't think he fits into their system now with how well Castle and Harper are playing. Like, I feel like it'd be silly for them to keep him. Waiting 1 week to see if a dude will get 3 tackles was tough. Did you miss the link? Probably. I think I already sent it. I can send it again. Why are we discussing ball? We're here to make money off math. We're here dissing De'Aaron Fox because we just locked in Dylan Harper over 9.5 points. Harper should get a good amount of game time also. So, let's see. We're about to load up on friggin' batter singles. I already know it. Minus 151 here. Let's go back over to Better real quick and see if we can lock another one in. I just typed in Better. What am I doing? All right, Brandon Nimmo under 0.5 singles. We're going to try and lock in with a couple other of these props. Always fun when you take the singles and they chalk you first at bat. Yeah. Also, like Paul Goldschmidt, I know he had a double last game or like a couple games ago when we had him under 0.5 singles, but Paul Goldschmidt is like the definition of a guy that's going to only hit singles, at least in my opinion. And I think he was doing that a couple years ago when he was like up there in terms of his batting average. He was pretty high up there. We're going to take this Osuna under 0.5 singles, which this is a prop that I think has cashed for us 3 times in a row when we've taken it. Are we going to get nerfed? Yeah, we're going to get nerfed there. I just realized we're both in the Rangers. Let's go over to Underdog. I want to see what Underdog has so far. Which, by the way, I totally forgot. On Underdog, I don't know how many of you guys actually tailed this slip, but I sent out over on Twitter this prop here, or this 2-leg. Gabby Williams under 2.5 3-pointers made, and then Gage Jump over 4.5 strikeouts. That cashed last night. I don't think she got a single 3-pointer, to be honest with you guys. But that line was ridiculous. That was like a minus 200 prop. So if you tailed that, you cashed. Yeah, she got 0 3-pointers. Good question. Somebody asked, why under Logan Webb on a weak Colorado offense? All right. So I'm going to assume since you're on TikTok, there's a good chance that you're seeing my stream for the first time. This is a brand new concept for a lot of you guys. What we're doing is called positive EV betting. I'm actually dropping a YouTube video today. I filmed it yesterday, explaining how positive EV actually works, why it works, what it means, all that stuff, right? So what we're doing is we're essentially comparing the line that we are getting on Better to the other sports books. So it's nothing that we're doing in terms of our own research. We're trying to look at matchups because all of that information is baked into the lines that these sports books have. Remember, these are multi-billion-dollar companies, right? DraftKings, FanDuel, all these different sports books, they have their own models that account for all of the information that they can get regarding these players, regarding their matchups, regarding how many times they may come up to the plate, or if it's a pitcher, how many batters they may face, right? All things that are taken into account. And basically, what I've talked about before is that these numbers that are associated with these props. So, like for instance, DraftKings right now on this Christian Vasquez prop has the over at minus 140 and the under at plus 106. What does that mean, right? A lot of people just understand like, oh, they're odds, right? That's all it is. Not necessarily, right? So minus 140 and plus 106. If I were to come plug those two in here and take out the vig or the juice that these sports books add, it's like a fee essentially, so that way they're able to make money. You can see that DraftKings is saying, hey, the over here on Christian Vasquez over 0.5 hits at minus 140, he has a 54.58% chance of that happening, which means the under has a 45.42% chance of hitting. Okay. So how do we then translate that? Well, you would basically say, okay, so 54.58% essentially comes out to minus 120. And because over on Underdog, we're getting implied odds of minus 116 on their two pick parlays, two pick powers that pay out 3.5x, that is a profitable play to take over time because we are getting a better price than what we should be getting based off of the true probability of that outcome. Okay, I know it's a lot, but that's essentially what it is. And long term, that is a very profitable strategy over hundreds and hundreds of bets. Can this month be over already? I've missed like 100 slips due to one leg. Me too. Cool story, bro, but I know more about ball than the billion-dollar company with dedicated nerds for each sport. Yeah, we were all there at one point. Were both of those whale watch plays? For what? The underdog slip that I showed? Underdog doesn't really have too many props right now. I definitely like the Vasquez prop, but aside from that, I'm not really a fan of those. We can go to the whale watch tool though. I think we still have tennis on today, right? French Open is still going on, correct? Under 0.5 runs for Chandler Simpson. Nice 116. What's up, TJ? French Open going to be going on all week. Okay, cool. More better. Yeah, underdog. Okay. This Vasquez prop is good. All right. I like this. I just showed you guys, pretty much just gave you guys the breakdown. Give you the example of for TikTok. DraftKings has this at minus 140, plus 106 on the under, which essentially is saying minus 120 on the over, implied odds. We're getting minus 116 on underdog, so this is a good play. I would definitely like to see more data points here on this Brooks Lee prop, but let's go over to underdog and just put in Christian Vasquez for now. And we'll see if we can add a second prop. We've got a little bit of leeway here because obviously that Vasquez prop isn't like minus 117. We've got a little bit of an extra boost. The Gabby under threes was well watched. No, it actually wasn't. It pulled up on the very top of the optimizer. See? Top of the optimizer here. Over 63%. It was minus 200 on FanDuel, and then DraftKings and Sleeper both had the line at 1.5. So I assume I think this was fairly late at night, I want to say. What did I post this? Or no, it was only at 7 o'clock. I think they were putting up the lines, though, because this took place 2 days ago. So, yeah. All right, Vasquez. Let's go put in Vasquez real quick. Over 0.5 hits. This should get bumped probably soon. But we want to figure out a pair to put with that. So a lot of times what I look for is I like to look at the hold over on the exchange markets. So like technically Novig is offering this at minus 134 on the under. But if you were to play the over, plus 102 is the best price you can get. So there's like a 32 cent gap here, which isn't great. I don't know if any of these props I would like, hammer right now to tail. There were like 6 props, minus 170 or better. Oh, over on better, you're saying? I'm going to leave that Vasquez prop here, and we're going to come back to it. Hopefully it doesn't move. What is up with better in all of these batter singles, dude? This is ridiculous. Let's go back over to better. We locked in Nimmo already, pending in our slip. These are all Rangers. These are all Texas Rangers. What about Keishel? Luke Keishel. Hopefully the pronunciation, please, doesn't come after me. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Luke Keishel under 0.5 singles. Go ahead and add that. Like number 2. And then, like, I'm not taking this prop, guys. Respectfully, I'm not taking this prop. DraftKings has that at 16.5. FanDuel has it slightly favored under, but we all know what's going to happen. This is going to hook. If Taj Bradley doesn't get absolutely shelled by the Pirates, then, which the Pirates did nothing yesterday, but I'm going to take this. We're going to go with Kevin McGonigal under 0.5 runs. McGonigal under 0.5 runs is going to be leg number 3. All right. Couple of unders here. We'll 3-pick 6x. Bang. Better limits don't make sense to me at all. Sometimes they limit me to $5, sometimes they limit me to 10, and sometimes I can put $100 down. Okay. I think the entire chat is completely on board with me skipping over that pitching out prop, by the way. And if you're not, I mean, you can take it, but just saying. I mean, like, I feel like, at this point, I feel like Christopher Sanchez could pull up on the optimizer at under 26.5 pitching outs, and then he would have a complete game. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the current state of variance for pitching outs for me right now. I'm echoing. Let's see. Is that better now? Let me know. It might just be a TikTok issue. Pitching outs and single props. Yep, that's all we're running today. Let me know if that sounds better over on TikTok. I try to unplug the mic and plug it back in. So do you want to put a play you like on better and pair them with someone you like on underdog? So do you not want to put a play you like on better and pair them with someone you like on underdog? What exactly are you asking? I think I understand what you're saying, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, Vasquez is still up right now. I'm going to go back and check underdog. Do we have any Pick 6 promos today? Full Pie Friday. Of course we do. Of course. I want to see FanDuel here. It's one-sided. Those slices never hit? Well, it's kind of a good thing, honestly, because like I was trying to say yesterday, I believe the way that the slices or like discounts work is that it's all the same pool. So like if everyone's playing these slices and let's say one of them hits, anyone who actually has like a good slip can get like a crazy boost from the purple winnings. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. What was the slip for better? Nimmo under 0.5 singles, Luke Keishel under 0.5 singles, and then Kevin McGonigal under 0.5 runs. Is TJ still in here? I have a question for him if he is. Let me know if everyone gets this in. TJ's eating churros at Disney. I thought he went yesterday. Is he still there today? Why is TikTok giving out restricting? What does that mean? You got a question for me? Let it rip. Let me know. What's the question? What's the question? Come on. Show us some good value here on underdog. We need a pair for Vasquez. He has yet to be bumped. How do you get chat to pop up on the desktop? Oh, like on the screen? I don't know. I don't have it set to that. I got 2 different monitors, so I just look at the other one. Nothing on Whale Watch for underdog? No. No. I'm not going to take those. I'm not a fan of any of these. Actually, you know what? Let's take this Grissom prop. Because look, if we do minus 137 plus 103, if I were to break this down, minus 137 plus 103, that's minus 117, right? Which is more than implied odds. So let's do this. We're going to run Vaughn Grissom under, was it under 1.5? Yeah, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs with that Christian Vasquez prop. Okay. Vasquez over 0.5 hits. Vaughn Grissom under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. All right, cool. Everyone get that in. Let me zoom in a little bit. Uh-oh. Multiplier change. Looks like they changed Vasquez. Hopefully you guys got that in quick enough. Okay, like if someone play is good on prize picks but not high on underdog, should I not take him on underdog? Okay, so I think you're asking is like if I were to find a good play on prize picks, right? Like here on the optimizer and not on underdog, should I not take it? So basically the only way that would happen is if you found a good play on underdog and then you're asking, should you play it on prize picks or better? And the reason I say that is because you need to understand that the implied odds for each leg on the best parlay, so like for instance, on underdog, it's going to be your 2-pick non-insured, right? That is going to be the best implied odds at minus 116. However, if you were to go to prize picks, the best props that you can get or the best implied odds on the best slip type is going to be minus 119 on those 5 and 6 pick flexes. Okay. So typically, if you were to find a good play, let's say over here on prize picks, and then you tried to go play it on underdog, most of the time, they're not going to have the prop available or it's going to be a multiplier, which you don't want to go get because it's not going to be the same value. So on prize picks, I understand that for a 3-man, you usually want props that are minus 122 or worse on the sharp books, and the optimizer, that's around 55%. But sometimes I see props that are worse than minus 122 and still not showing 55%. Do you still take those or do you usually leave them alone? So if something is minus 122 or shorter odds, essentially, so like minus 125 or minus 126, typically all of this is right here is the percentage is being calculated based off of your weights. So whatever you guys have set as your weights. One thing that I will say is most of the time, if I were to see a prop that may fall under, like for example, for 5 and 6 man parlays, right? If I were to find a prop that may fall under the 54.3%, and yet FanDuel has it available, double-sided odds at like minus 140, FanDuel is my number one data point, reference point essentially to go off of for player props. And then I would actually open them up and look at what's ProfitX offering, what's Novig offering. So sometimes you do want to actually just you'll get the hang of actually looking at the specific books and not just ripping whatever is top of the optimizer. So it's important to learn kind of what the sports books are showing. But yeah, there are times whenever it may not show 55% and yet it's still a prop that I would take. It's a good question. Pick 6. Yeah, we'll take a look at pick 6. We'll take a look at pick 6 for sure. I want to look at this prize picks prop though. Jacob, isn't this like Dobesh? I think that's how you pronounce that. That's how the announcers were announcing it or pronouncing it. Dobesh, under 29.5 saves. This is at 28.5 on FanDuel, offered at minus 150 on Novig. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. So let's go over to prize picks. Let's try to build out something on prize picks. First leg, we are going to go take, and we can try and potentially do like some correlation here. So like take a Canes player under shots on goal, possibly. If we have enough value here. Okay, never mind. Nothing to look at right now. We can take this Carson Bench prop. We have yet to roll with that. Another one for 0.5 singles. Carson Bench under a 0.5 singles over on the Mets versus the Marlins. We can take the Ezekiel Duran prop as well, now that we don't have Rangers props in here. So under 0.5 singles for these two guys. Duran and Bench. Both good data points over on DraftKings. And then let's snag Chase DeLauder over 0.5 singles. This is gross. I hate this slip already. Do we think this is pronounced Jamie, or is it like the dude on the Heat, Jaime? Probably Jamie. Oh, it was TJ. Okay, TJ posted that he cashed a slip that was on stream. I was trying to figure out who posted it because I know I didn't put it together. I don't know how many of you guys cashed that as well yesterday. The one with Ludwig Oberg. Little golf play. All right, minus 138. What do we want to take here out of these two? Probably this Faria prop. Under 19.5 total games won versus Francis. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Faria under 19.5 total games won. All right, so that is a... Oh, wait, did something get removed? Or am I just slow? I think I'm slow. Can't bring myself to lock it in. Lock what in? The prize pick slip? Let me see if anything's popping up here. Brian Rocio under 0.5 batter strikeouts. Okay, this is a prop that I would take. I know I've told you guys before I don't typically go under 500 bucks, but like this is a very niche market. Who's betting on under 0.5 batter strikeouts? I'm going to go ahead and take this. So we're going to roll. This is like the weirdest slip that I've ever placed. I can't say that. I've bet on Korean baseball before. Anyways, we're going to take Brian Rocio. Under 0.5 batter strikeouts here from the Wheel Watch tool. Somebody's laying almost 400 bucks of liquidity at minus 121. So we're also getting this at a little bit of a better price point over on Prize Picks. Let's see. Let me make sure this is all right. All right, we're gonna run that. Let me go ahead and get a screenshot of this so that way you guys can get it in as well. I'll send a link out in the chat. That's an ugly slip, but we got some good value there. I really think that we could make a lot of money if FanDuel would post double-sided odds for like total bases and runs and all that. Because all they post is single-sided odds. Just for people to build like parlays, you know, like, oh, over 0.5 this, over 0.5 that. Or like 2+ total bases, you know. So this is the ugly slip that we're running. I'm not a huge fan of this at all, but there it is. So Brian Rocio under 0.5 hitter strikeouts, hitter Ks. Then we've got Chase DeLauder over 0.5 singles. We're also taking Carson Bench under 0.5 singles. Ezekiel Duran under 0.5 singles. Jacob Dobesh. It's probably pronounced like Jakob, but Dobesh, Canadians goalie, under 29.5 saves. And then Jamie Faria under 19.5 total games. That'll be the final leg if we go 5 for a 5 today. All right. Make sure you guys get it in. It's going to be 25x over on Prize Picks. Why don't they do double-sided odds? They make it easy. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much why. To be honest, like especially with how, I mean, you guys see it. People are obsessed with like baseball, like lotto slips, essentially, like even like the home run parlays. But it's essentially very easy for FanDuel to make money off of just offering really crappy odds on 2+ total bases or 1+ runs or 2+ RBIs. And that's kind of the main reason why we don't use those as data points, or at least I don't use them as strong data points, because if I were to go to, um, let's see, let me find an example real quick. I don't see anything right now. They're all unders. What's going on? I'm just gonna find an example for you guys. Here we go. Okay, so this is an example. So Michael Harris over 1.5 total bases. If you're looking at this just how it is right here, you'll see that FanDuel has this at -140, right? Which in your head you might think, okay, I've seen other -140s on FanDuel, and those are good props to take, especially on underdog at -116, right? The thing is that FanDuel, what they're doing is they're essentially diluting the true probability. Like, so the -140 is not really like -140. Because remember, when you have double-sided odds and they're incorporating the juice, they are going to make a profit whether this goes over or under. But since they're not offering an under for this prop, they're going to juice the crap out of the over, because most people aren't just going to take this straight up. They're going to go work it into a parlay. So you're not able to find the true odds based off of just the single-sided odds. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So definitely, and that's another reason why I personally, I don't just roll with the percentages. I like to actually look at the data points. And it's as simple as checking what I was showing you guys with the Novig calculator. So like, for example, if we were to come back up to the top here and I see that Jose Ramirez under 0.5 batter runs is at -136 on DraftKings, I can look at the odds here. So the under is being offered at -136, over at -101. I can plug those into this right here, the Novig calculator, to take out some of that juice. And it's going to tell me that this is not the best play to take, at least from the standpoint of DraftKings, right? Using that as the main and only data point. Now, the rest of the market can still influence me to take this prop, because we're just trying to beat the -116 odds here that we would be getting in a 2-pick parlay. But all this is doing is, if you just use the calculator, you can very easily see what the true probability of that specific prop is. Okay? Let's go over to pick 6. You sold us chalk with that Brandon Lau pick yesterday. SMH. What do we take? We took hits, runs, and RBIs. It's all right. It's one prop. One singular prop. We got 2 different NBA picks that are actually pretty decent here over on DraftKings for pick 6. I would definitely lock in a 3-leg here if we can. Do we have like a 30% boost or anything? No, of course we don't. So is FanDuel still reliable for one-way markets? I would always use double-sided odds. I would not go off of one-way markets. The only exception, at least for me personally, is like for soccer, there are certain props that, like, I don't even really use FanDuel as the main data point for that, but like there are certain data points on FanDuel where they will have something at like -300 or -400, something outrageous, where like obviously they're working in a ton of extra juice, but still, in like, if you bring that down to scale, it's still going to be a profitable prop over time. So that's like the only scenario that I do that with. Oh, look, we have a Wemby free square. Let's just work this in with that. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna go back over to pick 6. Let's build this out right now. We're gonna take Champagnie under was it 17.5 PRA? Yeah, 17.5 PRA for Champagnie. Hopefully he doesn't bang out a couple threes at the start of the game like last time. Although I do want the Spurs to win. And then let's also take Caruso under 10.5 points. Hopefully we don't have any sort of a... ew. Why do they do this? 5.8x? That's honestly still probably a profitable play, considering the value that we're getting on these two. Plus the huge discount. Yeah, I'm just going to run that. I know that's not the best play, or at least the prettiest play, but definitely a profitable one. So let me pull this up for you guys. You guys can tell. If you don't want to use your Wemby free square yet, you don't have to, but I'm just going to go ahead and run that because we got really good value on those plays. I know for those of you guys who are watching over on Twitch and YouTube, you're probably, you understand positive EV for the most part, or at least the mindset you have to have around it. But a lot of the people on TikTok, they'll just be scrolling on lives to try and find plays, and then whenever a play misses, they're like, "How dare you sell me? How dare you give me chalk? None of your plays hit." And the whole reason is because they don't understand that it has to be long term, right? Everyone expects winners, which that's another thing. The YouTube video is dropping today. Even if you are somebody who's an experienced bettor, I definitely suggest watching it and dropping a like on the video if you want. But you guys have to have the mentality of like long-term investing. It's literally like that's what sports betting is to me. Like I don't have to worry about the boredom that comes along with like investing in the stock market, because I get to sit here and do essentially the same thing and then watch sports. It's the best thing ever. And not only that, but people don't get the fact that like the way that the stock market works, you're putting in a set amount of money that grows over time. But with sports betting, you are essentially compounding your total bankroll, right? So once you reach a certain point where you've grown your bankroll, you can say, okay, I can up my unit size a little bit, and now you're making even more money. So it becomes not necessarily exponential, but you are compounding your bankroll over time. Okay. Make sure you guys get this in if you want to tail. This is Wemby over 0.5 points. Champagne under 17.5 points. And then Caruso under 10.5 points. Cool. Hopefully everyone gets that in. We can look for MLB as well, possibly. Okay, yeah, because I noticed FanDuel have the one way for like hits, runs, and RBIs, bases. Yeah, definitely check. So like if you are looking specifically for like baseball, definitely make sure that you're not drawing like too much information from FanDuel alone. Which, to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure when it comes to the way that Upside is calculating the percentages, that it's not going to pull the FanDuel super heavy if it's not double-sided. I can check with the guys and see though. Can I do rebet? I can definitely check rebet. Which, by the way, we can look for some game lines for sure. Penguin's in the chat. What's up, dude? What's up, Penguin? Thanks for joining us here. Have we looked at Novig yet? No, we have not. That's what I was about to pull up. Ooh, Nationals money line over on Fliff. Let's roll with this. Plus 100. Let's see how long this stays up. Let's go try to take this play. Nationals money line versus the Padres today. Let's see if we can get this in. How do we like Ben Rice for 2 hits, runs, and RBIs today? On what platform? What platform are you referring to? I don't like how much you try to teach. I don't know if that's sarcasm or if that's... I don't know if I've ever had somebody tell me that before, honestly. Nationals are at minus 105 now, unfortunately. So they just changed that line. Let's see. Do we have any crazy player props? Nothing crazy. All right. We'll take a look at Novig real quick. So let me set my filters here. Okay. All right. Holy cow. This is a really good prop. Okay. Let's go nuke this. We're getting a really nice edge here. I'm going to devig to Pinnacle so you guys can see this. Pinnacle has the Lynx minus 4.5 tonight versus the Chicago Sky at minus 111, minus 105 on the opposite side there. So if we were to break this down, true probability for the minus 4.5, it's going to be 50.67%. And we would be getting this at plus 105. All right. Plus 105. So let's go ahead and take this over on Novig. Got a good amount of liquidity available there. I'm going to put 180 on this. Up your units until your wife starts nagging you for some money. All right, we're taking the Lynx minus 4.5 versus the Chicago Sky tonight, plus 105. All right. Plus 105. All right, that'll be first play today. Hopefully WNBA gets us a little bit of money back after yesterday's selling. And then use your wife to open new non-limited accounts. There you go. Genius. DraftKings is the most accurate in setting line for MLB. So technically, I would say yes and no. It really depends on the market. So FanDuel and Circa, I personally would use for pitching strikeouts because they take a lot of money on those markets or on that market, and they also set double-sided lines. So like for strikeouts, you will see double-sided lines on FanDuel. Now, for other things like total bases, for hits, runs, and RBIs, runs, RBIs, all that stuff, the hitting props, DraftKings would be my first choice. And then from there, I like to strongly consider what the exchange markets are saying. Okay, because if we're getting a lot of money and a lot of liquidity coming in on those specific, on NoVig and ProfitX, on those type of player props, I definitely strongly consider those. It's a good question. 2 units Spurs money line was clutch. Yes, it was. It was very clutch. And the fact that we beat closing line value by like a lot. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that thing closed at like minus 160, which I had a little conversation in with someone yesterday about how, like, I think we all know how this works now. Like, this series has probably gotten the best TV ratings by far. You know, everyone's watching this. They're going to make it go 7 because why not? You know, hopefully they have the fix in for the Spurs to move on, but I think most of us know that that's unlikely. What about the Phillies run line over? What does that mean? The Phillies run line and the over are two different things. Are you asking about Phillies? Are they favored? I don't even know. Are you asking about Phillies? What, plus 1.5, minus 1.5, plus 1.5 versus the Dodgers and the over? Is that what you're asking? Let's look at Whale Watch again real quick. Let me go ahead and hide this. What else can we take here? Mystics? Y'all want to roll with the Mystics tonight? Minus 109, minus 111. Let me just see. 49.78% chance that this hits. Plus 108 though. 160 on it. Let's do this. Let's roll with the Mystics tonight as well. Plus 109. You can take it at plus 108 as well. We're going to roll with that. All right, so we're going to take Mystics minus 2.5 at plus 109 as well. Lynx minus 5.5 is slightly higher EV than minus 4.5. It's a penny. This one was? That was right under it, wasn't it? I guess I could have checked both of them. I didn't, though. Hopefully the Lynx won by 10, though. So I guess you could tell if you want. Market's already been matched, though. I'm not going to double dip and play both of them. We've got a lot of good plays here, though. I want to look at Whale Watch real quick. Then we'll come back to it. By the way, guys, I know I've said this at the beginning of the stream, but if you're brand new here, first off, subscribe or follow whatever you are watching on right now, whether that's TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. If you guys want to get plays, you guys can go follow my Twitter at Trident_DFS. And if you guys do want to check out the tools that we've been using, whether that is the Whale Watch tool or the optimizers, you guys can go over to upside.tools, use code Trident, TRIDENT, and get yourself 5 days free. And obviously, if you have tried out the tool before, you guys can get 25% off using that code. Okay? Let's see what we've got here. We have hockey tonight, Hurricanes and Canadiens. Whoa. This is for tomorrow. Madison Keys plus 115. Let's go take this on Fliff. See if that's still up there. I know Fliff. I think Fliff's data is glitching out a little bit, possibly. So, like, this line has possibly moved. Just because the Nationals prop I see is still up there. Madison Keys is at minus 105 now, yeah. So, the data's whack at the moment. But, anybody want to take a minus 5,300 prop? 5,400? Let's see. Anything else that looks good? Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts. It's a pretty good price compared to these other lines. Let's go take this on ProfitX. I don't want to eat up all the liquidity, but I think I might, unfortunately. You guys can make new markets, though. Here. If you guys want to take that with me, I'll leave a little bit of liquidity there. So 6.5. Take Zach Wheeler over 6.5 at plus 150. This is a pretty good prop here. Looks like a lot of volumes coming in over on Novig at minus 148, or sorry, plus 148 and plus 150. So if you guys do want to take that over on ProfitX, there should be a little bit of liquidity over there to snag that. Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts plus 150. I didn't need all the liquidity. Relax. You guys can always make lines as well if you want people to take the under. It's essentially what you're offering. Because look, the best price offer on the under right now is minus 156. So if you were to put up a new market plus 150, you'd be offering the best price on the under. So other people can still eat your liquidity if you want to make the other one. What's going on with TikTok? TikTok is saying stuff about the microphone. I don't understand why. Mike is in a cave? Someone said about an echo earlier. It's so odd. So odd to me. What else am I going to take here? All right, let's go back. There was some more Novig value. We're not going to look at any player props, just because I like to wait a little bit closer to game time. But we can look at some of these props available. Ooh. Let's take this, guys. We're going to go take this. Braves and Reds. Under 9.5 at minus 102. Alright, let me know if that's better. I tried to unplug it again. I don't know why TikTok is bugging with the mic. I'm trying to use this live studio, and it's not being very friendly with me. Alright, under 9.5. Reds and Braves, minus 102. Do we go back to Stewie? Stewie stat slice tonight? Stewie freaking sold the other night. This is great. We got so many discounts. Did I make a price pick slip or underdog? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I made both of those. We'll go back to them, though, and check it out. Let me know if the mic sounds better over on TikTok. Somebody let me know in the chat, please. Yeah, we got 4 stat slices on WNBA. We have 8 stat slices on MLB. And then we already got in the Wemby prop. Ooh, we have boosts here. I don't even know if those are going to be worth it, though. Possibly. There's a good chance that I end up building those out throughout the day, because we're not going to run 12 discounts right now. In the last 5 to 10 minutes of stream. But I'll probably post one of them over to Twitter. If I build out anything like a 6-leg or an 8-leg, I probably won't post it just because I don't need everybody trying to steal the purple. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Make sure you guys get that Reds play in though. I think we're also going to get in. This is a really good play. We're gonna go take this. Dream and Fire over 164 and a half. Minus 106, minus 110. 49.55%. We're getting this at plus 1. What did I say? Plus 114. Yeah, that's a big play. Plenty of liquidity for us to get in on this. All right. This is technically like a 2-unit play. All right, if you guys want to tail this. I know some of you guys might be scared of WNBA overs. I don't blame you. All right, but we're getting really good value here. Pinnacle pretty much has this set up as like a 50-50 probability for the over or the under hitting at this line at 164 and a half. And we're getting plus 114, which is ridiculous. Okay. So, yeah. I need purple though. Okay. I know some people have already said this, but this is what I want to say. All right. DraftKings Pick 6 is hard. It's hard to figure out the exact, like, implied odds whenever you get to the point. I mean, really with anything, but because of their extra winnings, if you were to run like a 6-leg or more, there is a good chance you will get an additional payout based off of the fact that it is pool play, meaning however else the other people in your group do can determine if you end up making more money. So with that said, I am extremely lenient when I'm building out slips on Pick 6. Specifically with the promos, because not only are you getting an additional kind of plus EV boost, but like I said, it's all in the same pool, so if there are other stat slices that chalk, your chances of getting purple are extremely high. And if you have a bigger payout, then obviously your implied odds per leg are going to be lower than the minus 122 or whatever the base payout is, right? What was the Wemby slip? We ran, I think it was Champagny under 17.5 PRA, and then Caruso under 10.5 points. Okay, let's do something for WNBA. Okay, let's do something for WNBA. I'll build out one of these slips for us. Okay, 2-point discount, 3-point discount, 3-point discount, 3-point discount. Who do we want to go with? Who do we trust more out of these? You know what we could do? Let's see if this is pulling data yet. I know this is still kind of in testing right now. Beta. Basketball. Oh, do they not have women's basketball on here yet? It doesn't look like it. I know it's still in testing. All right, we're gonna do this instead. We got to vote for Stewie. Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. What do you guys want? You want to do Stewart over points? Do we want to do Citron over points? Or do we want to do Diggins over points? Citron, Stewie. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It looks like it should be Citron. Citron? No, that doesn't sound right. Alright, so Diggins' line is at minus 125 over 15.5. So that is probably off the board for me, considering that they're trying to advertise her original line at 16.5 when it shouldn't be. Also, let's go to Stewart. 19.5 favorite under at minus 118. Okay, so yes, sort of. If Citron's line's at 17.5, even or favored over, then that will be the best option for us. 17.5 favorite under even more than Stewie. So we're gonna roll with Stewie. Okay. Yeah. So in order of these, Stewart, Citrone, Diggins possibly as third. Obviously, just looking at this 3-point discount compared to a 2-point discount. Let me look at Alicia Gray's line real quick, and we'll see. We'll see how much of a discount it is. And remember, this can change throughout the day. With markets changing, 20 and a half. Minus 130 on the under. Okay, so I would probably say that Alicia Gray is the third best then. I would probably do... I would do Stewart's the best discount, then Citrone, Gray, and then Diggins. There's a good chance I don't even touch the Diggins prop, considering we've got 4 games on. I'm trying to build out 6 legs with these, because 3 legs are going to pay 5x. So, anyways, keep that in the back of your head for later if you're going to build out slips on your own. Okay. All right, pick 6. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's do this. I'm going to just take off the filters, honestly. We're going to just check this out. I just want to look straight at the lines. Okay, Cameron Brink under 10.5 points is going to be the first prop in here that we're going to add. Minus 148 on rebet and minus 153 on underdog. Okay, Cameron Brink under 10.5 points is going to be leg number 2. I also don't know what teams that these girls are on, so bear with me with that. Points. I said, what am I doing? I could have just checked what it says. Sparks and Mystics. Okay. I don't have singles in my country. Singles is not an option for you. That's crazy. All right, Cameron Brink under 10.5 points. Okay. Pick 6 value for MLB is buns this morning. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be tough to build out slips over there for the stat slices, but we will see. Would it hurt to add a lower multiplier given the extra payout if you do a 4-leg? It's like a guaranteed prop. What are you asking? On pick 6 to add a multiplier? Can hits and singles be the same thing? Can you take hits as well? No. No. Hits and singles are not the same thing. Because hits can be a double, a home run, a triple. Not the same thing. Okay? A lot of people get confused with the total base things as well. A walk does not count as a total base. Just so you know. Okay, so we're going to take Cameron Brink under 10.5 points. Let's roll with this Shakira Austin over 14.5 points as well. We're getting this. This is at 15.5 over on ProfitX. Yeah, we're going to roll with this as well. Also, let's see. Shakira Austin over 14.5 points. Okay, leg number 3. Let's go with... I don't know if I can pronounce this. Ogwumike? Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. Also in that Sparks game, over PRA at 24.5, which I like because if Brink has a stinker, hopefully Ogwumike goes over. No, I don't suggest taking multipliers on pick 6, honestly. Their payouts are kind of weird. I typically don't even, well, I never touch the multipliers. We're going to build out a 6-leg, though, for this. Should give us a really good chance to hit purple if we go 6 out of 6. And then also, we do have a nice little discount incorporated in that. Let's go ahead and take... I don't want to load up on these Sparks players, dude. Derica Hamby? I don't want to take that prop. That's too much. We need to find value on these other games. Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 rebounds. Let's go with that. We're going to take Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 rebounds. Okay. We need one more leg here. Citrone under points. Not going to take that. We're going to take me bounds over points. It's probably our best option, honestly. Angel Reese over 13.5 points. Which technically, I can kind of support that because didn't we just take the over for this game? Wasn't that the dream and the fire? All right, I know it's ugly. But that's what we're going to run. We've got a discount on Breonna Stewart, and then we've also got a good chance to go purple, as long as not too many of you guys are tailing. That's the only issue. That's what we're gonna run though. Okay, I'll post a link in the chat for you guys if you guys want to tail. What was the Ogwumike pick? It is. Hold on, let me just pull it up so you guys can see over on TikTok. I know it's annoying that you guys cannot see the full screen. There you go. Cool. So Stewart over 16.5 points. Cameron Brink under 10.5 points. Shakira Austin over 14.5 points. Ogwumike over 24.5 PRA. Angel Reese over 13.5 points. And then Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 rebounds. It's a whole lot of overs for WNBA. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Ogwumike? That's not how you pronounce it. I feel like I did a good job. I feel like that's how it's pronounced, right? Ogwumike? I'm picking a different discount just in case for the purple. That's not a bad idea. I don't think we have that many people in here. But I said it perfect. There we go. I've been working on my pronunciation, guys. Been working on it, okay? Okay. Let's see. I want to get in something else. I know it's already 10 o'clock, but we're going to go past that 1 hour so TJ can wait. You can just calm down and wait. I'm sure I'm going to get a text from him that says, get off stream now. We're going to eat up a little bit more of the value that he's got, though. Fantasy points. I typically will run fantasy points if it's like same team, you know, working a little bit of Coro. A little correlation. There's nothing crazy on Prize Picks at the moment. Let's check out better. I thought he was there yesterday, but I guess he might be there today. Who knows? He hates us and isn't streaming. He didn't stream yesterday, right? I couldn't remember what he said. I don't know if he was going to be gone like all day or 2 days. This is great. Look at this. We took this at minus 102, right? The under. We technically could arbitrage this if you guys wanted to. That's an option because now we have conflicting interest here. We had good value compared to Pinnacle, but now we also have sharp money coming in on the over. So that's just... Are we listening to a metal version of Smooth Criminal? Bro, this is the better version of Smooth Criminal. This is Alien Ant Farm. You don't know what Alien Ant Farm is? This ain't no Michael Jackson, bro. This is Alien Ant Farm. I wouldn't call it metal either. This is like just alternative rock, pretty much. What do we want to do here? I might arb out of this. I might not. $6,000 coming in is a good chunk of change. I don't know. I might just ride it out. We got really good value on the other one. Let's see. It's at 9 o'clock. We don't have any daytime baseball, right? All this is later. Sounds like they're... You guys are funny. What do we want to take? Can we take anything else before we hop off? Anything on Hard Rock? Walmart Smooth Criminal? That's fine. You guys just don't know ball. Just say you don't know ball. We have Michael Jackson at home. Fine, we'll skip it then. Jeez, you guys are crazy. I'm looking at Profit X right now. Some of these plays might be good. I'm tempted to take. I think I have something on this game already, which is why I'm hesitant to take this. On this Jacob Mensik, however you say it. I don't know. I think that's gonna be it for stream though. That's about all the value that we've got in, unless we start double dipping. Like I said though, guys, if you guys do want to get in some more slips, I'll probably post some throughout the day over on Twitter. So go drop a follow at Trident_DFS. All right, drop a follow over there. Drop a follow wherever you're watching or subscribe to the channel. I will have a YouTube video out today. I just got to finish editing it, get a nice little AI thumbnail for it as well. And that'll be out over on the YouTube channel if you guys want to go subscribe over there. And if you guys do want to check out Upside, okay, upside.tools, you can use code Trident to get yourself 5 days free. 5 days free of the Whale Watch tool or the optimizers. You guys can check it out using code Trident. And if you've already tried out Upside and you want to get back on the grind with Upside, you can get 25% off with code Trident. Okay? So I'm live every weekday at 9 a.m. I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. I'll be back on Monday at 9 a.m. So hopefully you guys get some good winners over the weekend. As always, I'll post some to Twitter as well. And that's going to do it for the stream. So good luck on your plays today. Hopefully we cash out the plays that we did put in. And I will see you guys on Monday. All right, peace out.